What's up, everybody? Shout out to James Stone. James Stone, the latest sub. Thank you, James. Wonder where Tyler Durden went. He was here, he came back, and now he's gone. Wow, wow. Let me know if the sound's okay when anybody pops up. 2 people here, nobody in the chat. Derek 405's in the house. What's up? Saying first. Seller Rock says first, but I don't know if you were the first, bruh. If you were. I don't know if you was. What's up? The Missings here. What's up, bro? How you doing? Bigsby's in the house. Platonius, Big Bonius. What's happening, guys? I missed you guys. Sorry I was gone. Sorry I was chilling for a week. Tim Ryan's in the house. What's up, Tim? How you doing, Holmes? Dave Lechner's here. The early bird special. I think I'm gonna thanks, Kevin. I think I'm gonna rock a little bit earlier time frame here on the live streams. I think I'm going to move them to 8 p.m. A couple of days for the days that I do go live. Just chopped up some stuff and got some clearance from the big one, so we'll be able to go earlier on the nights that I go, just because I'm more effective in the morning than late at night. So hopefully that works out for you guys too. And I tried to get minutes put back on the phone today, and I got to go to the Verizon store tomorrow. So kind of TO'd about that, and I apologize. I'm sure you guys really wanted to call in tonight and talk some shit to me, say how stupid I look or whatnot. But we'll do that on the Super Bowl. I'm planning on live streaming for the Super Bowl, so that's going to be dope. Okay, Joel Brooks is down with it being earlier, so that's cool. Dave Menny's here. Dave Lechner's in the house. What's up? We got some mod love. We got some mod love. So Seller Rocks, lower camel case, a naming convention where the first letter is lowercase, each subsequent start of a word is uppercase, each commands with move, put ball, turn left. Okay, whatever. You know what's up, mods. If we get some dick bags in here, just ship them. You know who we're looking for. So, Derek 405 says Drillo is funny. Nice find, Pat. Yeah, Drillo's cool, man. There was people once I saw him, like Robert Shelton was over there. The boxer dude, I forget what his channel name is, Buffy the Boxer Boy or something like that. They were already over there subbing and stuff or commenting. So I'm like, damn it, I wish you guys would have told me about this kid. I would have plugged him a couple weeks ago. He seemed pretty legit. David Menny's here. What's up, David? How you doing, bro? I watched a little bit of your stream the other day. Mary Del Sandro. Hey, Pat, first time on your live stream. Welcome, Mary. Welcome, Mary. Del Sandro. Yeah, Joel Brooks, Petty Tooth Blur. Yeah, though he's blocked, he's gone, so he's out of there. Earl 4321 says, "Hey, what's up, Earl? How you doing, bro?" Earl the Pearl, he's in the house. Clayton Bigsby sent a arrow, a bow and arrow, and it looks like a turkey, a dead turkey. So Clayton's been turkey hunting or something like. I'm not sure what's going on. Shout out to James Stone, my latest sub. That's what's up. So Bobby Gematria Jr.'s in the hizzle. Good to see you, Bobby. Sorry I was missing you. Bobby always gets concerned when I'm not out for a while. That's why he said, "Oh, we're back, eh? Hope everybody's okay." He's saying me. He's saying, "Pat, I hope you're okay." You haven't been on schedule with your live stream, so he's hoping everything's okay. And then looks like we got Seller Ox. Hey, Pat, remember me? It's Samir Jones. I asked, what is this? Because I was just curious. You got hostile and your annoying mods banned me. What's up with that, dude? Thanks for reminding us. Seller rocks. You gone, boy. Um, yeah. Samir Jones was on like my hidden list or whatever. So he was already blocked. So yeah, mods, if you want to whack anybody that's talking smack, go ahead. I'm fine with that. Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll even give Ryan Goff a wrench as a moderator. Ryan, are you drunk tonight? I hope you're not drunk. Hopefully you guys can. Young Achiever X. What's up, bro? What's up, Young Achiever? How you doing, bro? What's happening, man? Is this the dad or the son? I can never tell. Either way, we're happy to have you here. Caller rocks, can fucking kick rocks. Yeah, Bobby Gematria, seller rocks, can kick fucking rocks. Sorry, my kids are going to bed, so they might be, you might hear them upstairs. There might be some blood curdling screams. There might be some violence. Siege Light, what's good? Thanks for streaming. Yeah, I missed you guys. I had kind of a funky week going on. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, so just a weird week where I'm trying to figure out what to do as far as employment goes and stuff like that. So I I wanted to just kind of clear my head a little bit from the tube of the U. So Joel says I saw Tyler Durden commented a few days ago. Yeah, he did. He commented a couple weeks ago, and I commented back, and he didn't answer. And then I commented again on another thing because he just does some emojis and then posts a link to a rap video. So I said, "Hey, bro, where you been? You been gone since your failed prediction with the Packers, and you're like the coolest truther in town. I can't believe you got that wrong." And he commented back. I saw it in the notifications, and it said, "I know more than you, buddy," and that's all I read. And then it disappeared, and that original comment disappeared. So he like deleted his comment back that he said. But I mean, earlier in the year, he was saying that he thought I was a government plant and stuff like that. So he was going to expose me. So I expect him to be back and maybe in a different account or something like that. So Ryan says, got to get back to blasting 80s butt rock and lifting. The fans need me. I'll check back in a bit. Okay, Ryan Goff's listening to Cinderella. Don't know what you got till it's gone, and then lifting weights. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, so that's what's up with Tyler Durden. And he was saying, "Oh, Bengals! I picked the Bengals." Now all of a sudden he's trying to say that like he's the Bengals guy. So, what do you mean binary code? Wow, I'm in a similar boat. What do you mean with the employment and the house stuff or whatever? So yeah, and then Kevin says the poker video was hilarious, Pat. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you liked it, Kevin. And Derek says, "Oh yeah, nice flush on poker night." Um, that's cool. What's up, James H? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch the poker vlogs at all, where these guys go and buy in for thousands of dollars and play actual big stakes poker, and they vlog it, and they are like really well studied. And I'm pretty well studied too, but I don't know all the outs. Like Texas Hold'em has been solved years ago, where all these dudes that should be like engineers and inventing things and using their brain for real stuff, they're playing poker and they're able to basically solve it. And they put all the hands and everything into these things called solvers, which is like a giant computer software thing that factors everything out. So you know, like if you get king nine and you're in this position and there's so much money out there, you know what to do. So these guys have memorized like the solvers and stuff. So instead of going and playing poker with old New Jersey Jim and he goes on a gut feeling type of thing, no, you're going against a guy who's got a brain the size of a rugby ball and he knows all the outs and ins. So it's really hard to bluff and stuff. So like I never got to that point in poker where I'm pretty well studied. I'm better than the average, I would say, but um, it's it was more of a spoof. Like it's like my basketball videos. You know, I put highlights of me missing more shots than making it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a parody, a little bit of a joke, even though I am playing sport or poker seriously. So I'm gonna do some more of them as I make more poker games and stuff like that, or as I do more poker games. But it's really just for fun and to like even edit that up and break it down for a pot that's worth like $1.90 is kind of like really funny. So I hope that somebody who's searching like real poker vlogs see that and they're like, what is this? Like, is this a joke? You know, like one guy asked me how much my bankroll was for that game, and I was like, yeah, I went and gave plasma. That's how I had enough money for that game. So I thought that was pretty funny. So and then binary code says employment options. Yeah, dude. Well, hopefully you find what you're looking for. What are you looking for, dude? What are you looking for, binary? Um, CJ Ellis says, I've said it before, but my boss is just so effing ignorant. He never will accept that the NFL he watched as a kid and stands back on because he loves football. Once again, ignorant as fuck. He would fire me. Oh, dang, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, it's tough talking to your bosses and stuff that are still sheep and whatnot. And then Kevin says, "I'll poke her. I brought her." Remember that Big Johnson casinos, liquor in the front, poker in the back. Hey, hey. I bet you two of you guys in the chat right now are currently wearing Big Johnson shirts. I wish we could see what you guys were wearing. I picture Kevin wearing like a Big Johnson volleyball shirt right now. It's in, it's out, it's over. And then Dave Lechner has one on that's the Big Johnson Casino, and it's really stretched out in the neck. It's pulled down in the neck, so you can see it's all stretched out, and it's high in the back where. Sorry, guys, my bubbly. Yeah, so it's like one of them shirts that like is too high in the back where when you move around it shows your belt and like your waistline and stuff and you can feel the breeze on it. It makes you a little self-conscious. And it might have been a cheap shirt that you bought that shrunk where it was a large and it fit good and then it rolled up. So Young Achiever says chess is cool. Yeah, I like playing chess. Dave, you know, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, Dave. Just playing, bro. Nothing personal. I like to use fun analogies like that with my friends because I know you guys can take it and you know that I'm totally joking and not being serious and that you guys are probably cooler than me and have more than one shirt cuz I don't. I go out on the internet all the time wearing the same stuff. So, I'm just fucking with you, Dave. And that's actually the majority of my clothes that doesn't fit because I go buy a shirt that's from a thrift store that some other dude wore and sweated into for years, and then I buy it for $3, and it's some other guy's shirt that doesn't fit, and then when I sweat, it activates his sweat that's locked in the shirt, and I'm like, that's not my sweat. Um, so Joey M says, "Who wins the rigged big?" I don't know. I'm saying the Rams. I'm sticking with the Rams. I'm not flipping on that. Ike Bush says, "Hey Pat, what's up? What's up, Ike? What's up, Ike? I like Ike." Um, yeah, and Dave says my poker face is really bad. Whoa, Ted, you got to have a poker face like me. Okay, Dave. I hope you're not. Um, who wins the big? Yeah, so I think with the Super Bowl, as far as the NFL is going to win regardless, because whatever, but the owners are going to win. LA needs to pay off their stadium, so they need to build a fan base. So, them getting to the Super Bowl right now has created enough buzz for them to get that fan base driven. Um, the Bengals, all the ritual stuff and all the numbers, like Dave says, 33 years since the Bengals were there. Boom, good job, Dave. And all the year of the what's it called? The year of the tiger and all that. So all the ritual stuff, the Bengals could win, and the owner of the Bengals could win, and just all that crap. So like it's a coin toss actually. It's a coin flip on who is better for the league to win, and by the league I mean the owners. So if Cincinnati wins, then Cincinnati's going to be Cincinnati's going to be wide open. People are going to be going back to the stadium. They're going to be buying jerseys. The Bengals are going to be catapulted to like the top of the team, and maybe the Steelers will fall now and kind of not be as good as they were, because if Big Ben, I don't know if he actually did retire or not. So it's a flip flop. It's really 50-50 on who could win. But I think that Vegas is heavily favoring the Bengals right now. I don't know if I'm mistaken on that, but I think somebody said in the comments that the Bengals had most of the money, I want to say. So now I could see Vegas just screwing the betters like they have all years. So um, if everyone's betting on the Bengals and saying it's going to be a close game, then the Rams are going to win big. So, and then with last year, I think last year's Super Bowl was a blowout too. And people are still going to watch the Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter if it's a blowout or not. It's not like the Thursday night games where they had to keep it close to keep you glued in the seat. So I don't know. I'm thinking Rams by 3 touchdowns. I think the Rams are going to come in and crush them. But that's just me just dicking around. So I really don't know. And then Joey M says, "What do you guys think of Bovada?" Bovada is the betting app. Bovada is the betting app. So um, Tylenol pills. Mister, I don't ban people. I allow opinions. Yet you ban a guy for asking a question. He wasn't even trolling. No, he was trolling Tylenol pills. So use your dumb mod to ban again. You come for Flint truth, yet you do this. Huh? Fucking joke. All right, cool. Good job, Tylenol pills. See ya. Green and yellow, purple pills. I got them. Why did he say Flint truth? Use your dumb mods to ban again. You come for Flint truth, yet you do this. What? Huh? Okay, so the Rams are favored by 4. Huh. We'll see. Yeah, don't time him out. Just boot him. I think I just booted him, Kevin. I think he's out of here. But um, come for Flint Truth. Was that another Flint Truth sock account? I bet you he has them lined up. I bet you since I scheduled this live, he has like 7 new accounts. Strong discernment's in the house. What's up, brother? He says, last few Super Bowls, who wins the coin toss wins the game. Wow, I didn't know that. Um, and then Joel says, bet on overtime and win big. Too obvious of 2 home teams to win back-to-back years. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Ramsey said the NFL was scripted in 2017. Doubt they reward him with a ring. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think the Rams could be winning it, and but who knows? It really could go anyway. I really have no insight or anything like that. And then Bobby says, "Why does every troll here bring up Flint Truth? Because every troll is Flint Truth. So that's why he's a psychopath who's creating multiple accounts to come in here and make up comments and stuff. So dude is insanely obsessed. That's why. But I wish he would just come in on his channel. If you just use your regular channel, Flint, you're unblocked, dude. You have been for months. So just you come in here and comment, and I'll let you be. But anybody else that's a coward or whatever, you got to go. Black Lion, Flint, who? That's what's up. Oh, Black Lion is in the house. Black Lion, everybody, show your respect to the darkest lion in the prairie. Flint, who? That's right, Black Lion. Flint, who? Fuck that guy. We don't even know who he is. Joey M says, being honest, there's a ton of gematria pointing towards the Bengals. Yeah. I definitely think that the gematria could say the Bengals, but I think the gematria has pointed us in the wrong direction before. So I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know. Really don't know, Joey. So there could be I really don't know. Everyone could bet on it and say that, and then it could not. I really don't know. I just like to play devil. I like to bet against who all the rigged NFL people bet against. So a lot of people were saying the Titans were going to beat the Bengals because of the 2-2, and I picked the Bengals and they won, and yada yada yada. So whatever. Rams by 3 TDs. You heard it here first. And Dave Lechner and I have a gentleman's bet on who wins the game. Straight up, no points, just which team wins. I'm picking the Rams, and we have to do kind of a we'll call it a gay workout and record it. So it's not really anything cool. Nothing cooler than what you've already seen. So don't worry about it. It's just to keep it a little bit interesting. Ryle says we need to have an intervention for Flint. Yeah, I intervened with him with $100 bill, and that still didn't work. So I tried to help fix his car. So I don't know. Joel says Zach Hubbard has gematria for the Bengals, but he also points out some gematria for the Rams. Yeah, the gematria I think can go either way. I think that you could say, oh, they won, and the gematria said the Bengals were going to win. And then you could say, oh, they won. Well, there was gematria for the Rams. So I don't think that, at least in this Super Bowl, that there's enough gematria on either side to say, like, this is going to win or they're going to win. And then, I mean, with gematria, it's also like you can say, I mean, what do you add? Like, what are these ciphers and stuff that are adding? Like, so it's just um, the gematria could really go any way, and I don't think that it's not totally unfounded or whatnot, but it's not the be all end all. So we'll see. And then Ryle says, "Is Zach part of the misleading?" I don't know what the misleading is. I just think he's into the numbers, and sometimes the numbers can be wrong. So, um, who knows? Oh, so amped up to do this tonight. You guys don't even know. Um, Joey M says, like Bobby said, they're really twisting things via gematria. Dave says, Pat said he would do 200 push-ups if the Bengals win. I think it was 50, Dave. Don't get it twisted, bro. But I'll do 200. I'll do 5 sets of 40 or something like that. I mean, and then Bobby says, I'm saying from the sports talk side of things, they are watching and misleading more than ever. Joey says, this one is really tied to the royal family. What do you mean? Burrows and them are? I'm pretty sure the Mannings are tied to them. I'm gonna do a deep dive on them hopefully this weekend just to get the deep dives a rolling. Base 311 says I win either way from the free future bets I used. 560 on the Bengals. I win 200 if Rams win. I can't lose. Don't forget live betting. Vegas can call at any time. Yeah, I think Vegas will have something to do with the outcome, whichever way it is, because like I said, both owners are going to win. So whatever, who knows, you know. What else is going on? They found out Bob Saget's head got fractured all the shit and stuff. Did you guys hear about that? Bob Saget got fucked up. Um, he had a fractured back of the skull. His eyes were all black because of the blood that pooled up, and he had multiple head injuries and stuff. Yay! Sounds like somebody ran up on old Mister Saget and got busy with a lead pipe and a blowtorch, or um, a cheetah bar. I don't know what a cheetah bar is. Okay, yeah, a cheetah bar with like a extension for a wrench. I don't know why I said a cheetah bar. Um, like a baseball bat, one of them little miniature bats that you get. You get the little bat from the baseball game, or how Vito went out. Vito went out with the pool cues. Remember when Phil Leotardo beat up Gay Vito in The Sopranos and beat the shit out of him? So, yeah, Mike O'Brien. What's up, Mike? He says they claim he fell. Yeah, they claim he fell, fractured his skull, and then went to bed. It's like, I don't really think so. And then Dave says he said too much with his comedy. Yeah, I don't know. They fucked him up, though. They really messed him up. Hey, what's up, Gabe? Gabe Sabe is in the house. What's up, Sabe? Everybody show your respect to the Green Berets. Fighting soldiers from the sky. Fearless men who jump and die. Men that mean just what they say. The fearless men of the Green Berets. I emailed you last week, Sabe. I don't know if you emailed me back. Check your email. Yeah, the Olsen twins murked him. Yeah, the Olsens couldn't. They'd have to have like a pulley system and a crane to pick up like a rock to smash on his head, because those chicks, they don't have the protein power or the muscle to do anything, any type of beatdown or anything like that. So I don't know. It could have been the whole cast of Full House. It could have been all the extras. It could have been the grip guy. It could have been Dave Coulee and the jackalope. Police report says they found him clenching his chest when he died. Heart failure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I heard something about the heart stuff, and he was taking some type of medicine for his heart failure as well. So Top Notch Energy says also possible that Saget is a death faker. Story sounds pretty suspect. Yeah, totally. And I try not to get too much into the death fakes because I don't know how legit they are or whatnot. The twins elbowed him in the. Yeah, it's hard to prove if they really died or not. So I like to just think that, okay, he did die, but it wasn't what they said. Like, so what? He fell, hit his head, crawled into bed, then had heart failure, and that's how he died. But his head was all fractured, and it was so bad that his brain had like a hematola or something, where his brain was swelled up. I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to go out like that. And then Ike Bush says John Stamos. Yeah, could have very well been John Stamos. I've always suspected John Stamos for a murdering ass son bitch. Joey M says possibly heard a good one the other day. Every 4 years for the last 25 years, a new Super Bowl winner. Guess what year it is? And the Rams never won a Super Bowl, or did they? No, the Rams did. The Rams did. So it would be the Bengals then. Who knows with the numbers, man? Who knows? And then Push Button 62 says Dave Coulee and the Jackalope. Ha ha. Do you guys remember that from America's Funniest Videos? I think it was Dave Coulee. Or no. I don't know if Dave Coulee hosted it. I know Bob Saget did, but Dave Coulee was the jackalope. He was the little rabbit who had deer horns, and he'd be like, fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me. And he would he would all run around and do all types of um grew bigger. Why don't you conspiracy theorists become famous, then go into Hollywood movies and sports, and then come back and confirm if they can actually do these rituals? Damn weasels, all bark with no bite. We'll see it grew bigger. Yeah, why don't you go become famous, then go to Hollywood? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, Dave Lechner says, Kurt Warner, bro. All right, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Dave, that I forgot that the greatest show on turf won. What year did they win, Dave? Was that 1999 or 2000? I don't remember. Dave says, haha, that show was awesome. Yeah, dude, I really liked that show when I was a kid. I thought it was really funny because it was like the first fail videos. And I really liked, okay, so push button 62. It says America's Funniest People was Kool-Aid, AFE was Saget. Okay. Um, yeah, I thought those were pretty funny. They were like the first fail blogs back in the day. So, um, Chachi killed Bob Saget. Wasn't Chachi Stamos? Is that what you're saying? Um, Caesar Beltrane's in the house. The Fact Hunter. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, Fact Hunter? That's sweet. We got 37 people up in here. That's crazy. You guys rock, dude. You guys a rock. I think, man, Marshall Falk, super underrated tailback for back in the day. Um, I really liked watching that guy play. He was one of the ones. I think Marshall Falk would have been a for sure top Hall of Fame type dude if it was a real NFL. If it was the real deal, he would have been a top tailback. Just he already is, obviously, but I just really liked how he played and stuff. Oh, okay. Push button says Scott Baio. That's right, Chachi. Um, anybody remember Pineapple Express when they're smoking with the little kids out back of the school, and Seth Rogen's like, um, "Hey, don't smoke the whole joint. Pass it here, Chachi." And he's like, "Shut up. I know how to handle my shit." Who the fuck is Chachi? He says. Who the fuck is Chachi? You don't even know who Chachi is. So the greatest show on turf was dope, dude. Don't forget about Ricky Prohl, the fact hunter. Don't forget about your boy. Yeah, and when Falk played at the Aztecs, dude, there used to be a highlight. I don't know if it's still out there of him playing with the Aztecs. It was like the only college highlights that there was of Marshall Falk, and I thought those were pretty cool. I'll have to check and see if those highlights are out. I used to watch all the old highlights. If I found a player that I liked in the NFL, I would go back and I'd watch all their high school shit and their college stuff. Like I remember Johnny Manziel's, his high school highlights were good. Tavon Austin coming out of DuPont in Baltimore, he's got some great high school highlights, man. Just great ones. And even like Larry Johnson, the uh, the alleged whistleblower or whatever, the dude who's been speaking out, his Penn State highlights are just out of control, dude. For the late '90s, man, he was such a beast. I love watching the players before they became pros and stuff. Frank the Tank's in the house. What's up, Frank? What's happening? And Bobby says Dick Vermeil got put in the Hall of Fame this year, and Vrabel. Um, the team Rams won the year Super Bowl again. It's all about Super Bowl 34. Um, and then Dave says Barry was the best running back ever. Yeah, and I have to agree with that. And yeah, for sure, for sure. Falk was nuts out of the backfield. Randall Cunningham was amazing to watch. That's what's up, Fact Hunter. I used to love me some Randall Cunningham. I came up in the '90s and I loved the Eagles. I even had an Eagles starter pullover jacket. I got that in seventh grade, and that was probably the coolest thing that I had ever had. Like I had always had kind of like stupid hand-me-down jackets, and then I got that starter pullover, bro. I wore that. Um, geez, until like ninth grade, and then it wasn't very cool to wear sports team stuff. I guess I don't know. It was maybe I did. No, I wore it in ninth grade, and I also had a pro player Golden State Warriors jacket. Remember pro player, and it had the P on the zip up thing with the little lightning bolt. I thought that was really cool. Um, but yeah, still nobody's saying anything about Ricky Prohl. Come on, man. Why is everyone hating? Oh, Michael Bryan says Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Falk, Orlando Pace. No, Ricky Prohl. Okay, It's 2022, you guys, and we need to give respect to the white boy receiver. Okay, they weren't around a long time, and they're all dead. Vicky Vitamin says, so I saw your snow video of you trying to burn it. No offense, but I think you took too many naps in chemistry class when you were younger. If you think it's alarming that there was a reaction, but do you? No, not really, Vicky. If you think it's alarming that there was no reaction, but do you? And actually, Vicky, I never took chemistry class, so it's maybe if I had taken chemistry, I would have known. So, how about he hate me? Flat Earth Frank the Tank talking about the guy from the XFL. Um, Larry J has definitely taken the diaper off now. Larry Johnson, Priest Holmes, Christian Okoye, Harvey Williams, Chiefs had the best running backs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they had the best. I've never heard of Harvey Williams, Caesar. Priest Holmes was dope. I think he had headache problems and stuff. There we go. Chad Alamimo. I remember Ricky Prohl. I think Ricky Prohl had a big catch in one of the games, either the Super Bowl or the NFC. Dave says, who was the Bronco dude who went across the middle? What, Ed McCaffrey? Christian McCaffrey's dad? I think you're talking about Ed McCaffrey, right, Dave? Christian didn't last very long. No, Okoye didn't. Remember that hit that Steve Atwater put on Christian Okoye? Everyone was talking shit about Christian Okoye, and then he went up the middle, and Steve Atwater, that strong safety for the Broncos who used to just level people like Sean Taylor, he came in and just blew apart Christian Okoye. And like Christian Okoye just went back to Nigeria. He was done. He was like, that's it. I'm out of here. Um, yeah, Dave Menny says I had a Raiders jacket but wasn't allowed to wear it in LA because of gangsters. Yeah, dumb gangsters, dude. That's probably actually pretty smart, Dave. I'm glad you didn't do that. What about the starter pullover Charlotte Hornets jacket? That fucker was filthy. Yeah, the one that was teal. Yeah, dude. Yeah, nobody had a clean Charlotte Hornets jacket. That's so right, Bobby Gematria. And I had a friend who had my best friend had a Dolphins. He had a Dolphins starter. We both got ours for we both got a starter jacket for Christmas. When I was in 7th grade, I think he was in 6th grade, and his Dolphins one was always dirty. Vicky Vitamins. I'm Pat Troothner, a hypocrite punk and a right-wing grifter who purposely misleads people. I also smell like wet baloney. You smell baloney wrong. And room temperature cat coughs. My wife is a imaginary person and I ban people. Okay, this person has been texting the burner phone too. Vicky Vitamins. I wonder who it is. It's got to be Flint. It took him about what 15 minutes there to make another another channel. Trust me, my wife is not imaginary, dude. If my wife was imaginary, I'd be going live every night, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, I would be on the live streams all night long, all night. Yeah, all night long, all night. I'm a right-wing grifter who purposely misleads people. Yeah, I like how these like really weird, not funny comments are supposed to take down my channel. It's just laughable. Yeah, Dave Lechner says Atwater hurt Okoye. Yeah, look it up. Look up the video of Christian Okoye, where they talk about they talk about Atwater hitting him because Atwater used to blast people, dude. Atwater used to fuck some people up. In fact, on our line now, Johnny G says, "L.A. all day, fuck whack ass Cincy." Johnny G, what do you think about Tom Brady? How about a Tom Brady comment? What do you think, Johnny G? Let us in. Tell us what's up with Tom Brady. Um, Kevin says maybe it's Arrow Crusher's sister. Yeah, right. Arrow Crusher's sister can't create sock accounts, dude. Get out of here. Um, Frank says I went to that one XFL game in San Francisco. LOL. How was it, dude? How was the game, Frank? Was it like totally dead? And Chad says, isn't XFL merging with CFL? It may very well be. I don't know. I don't know any of that news really until you guys bring it. Okay, there we go. Tom Brady sits down to pee. Yeah, and did Steve Atwater blast Bo Jackson as well? I don't know if he ever did. Um, I know that there's that one highlight of Bo Jackson's where he comes running through the line and one of the Broncos hits him low and like Bo was getting tackled from behind and then he hit the Bronco and then he got up and ran. I remember watching that live. They used to always show the Broncos and Raiders games on the 4 o'clock game. So it must have been like 89, 90, 91 when I was really like committing to watching football and stuff. Um, the I would love watching the Raiders, dude. And I thought Jay Schrader was really cool for some reason. I don't know why. Ellie go backwards. What's up, Truth? What's up, Bolly? And then Wasted Talents here. I'm an island boy. Those island boys are Fruit Loops, dude. Um, Tom Brady's sister has Kawhi hands. The claw's got the ball. Um, if anybody doesn't know that reference from Derek 405, Kawhi Leonard has gigantic hands. So he's tagging my man hands video. Bo was a travesty, Dave says. What about Bo making that catch when he played for the Royals? He climbed the wall. Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool, man. And Bo was just a freak show, dude. He threw one guy out. They hit it to the wall, and I forget who it was. I want to say like maybe Dave Winfield. Probably not. But if you listen to like the Bo Jackson 30 for 30, he was on second base. They hit a deep single to like left field in the corner. Bo ran up, picked it up, and threw it all the way to home. And like the guy could not believe it. And I guess after the game, he was still in the locker room reviewing the tape, and he couldn't believe that Bo threw it that bad, so or that well. So Frank says XFL was fun. Didn't pay that much attention. I went there with a new girlfriend. Wank. But Tommy Maddox was quarterback. Okay, that's cool. That's fine, Frank. I can figure it out. I can help you out. You don't have to edit it or put a. You don't have to put your edits in there. I think I can figure out, or I'll just make fun of you and say what you meant to say. Um, so yeah, the I went to a couple of indoor IFL leagues up in Saginaw with the Saginaw Sting, and that was pretty cool watching those guys because they had the wall, they had like the ice wall, like or in hockey the glass. So it was super cool to see those guys getting smashed against the wall. It was really really wild, and I don't know, it smelled. You could smell like the sweat and stuff. It was pretty real. And at the pro games, all the pro games I've gone to, I haven't really enjoyed. Usually I'd get tickets from a guy. His dad was a lawyer and him and I were friends. So we would get seats to the Lions game, but they were like way far away and it wasn't really fun. I was always like, man, I'd rather watch this on TV. And then I linked up with a dude who I knew from when I was a kid, and he got us tickets like 10 rows up, 40-yard line. And that was legit. That was super cool. And we watched the Lions play the Rams back when the Rams had Steven Jackson and the Lions had Javid Best, and it was right when the Lions, like a season or two after the Lions had went 0-16, and they won. They beat the Rams like 44-15 or something, and it was super exciting because Detroit had sucked. So to see them win and actually be at a game that they won back when I was bought in, it was really cool. So G Chud says Baker is awesome. What are you talking about? G Chuds? You talking about Baker? Um, Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield is awesome. Guess. What makes Baker awesome? Caesar says CFL Flutie. I wonder if there was a conspiracy against the guys who went and played in the USFL. I was thinking about that the other day, talking with I want to say the missing, um, where like Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, Doug Flutie, Herschel Walker. I don't think any of those guys won a ring, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder if they all kind of got blackballed and they were allowed to come to the NFL after the USFL closed or folded, but they got shit on real bad because they never won. And so it's been rigged, and most people get a championship and they're like, okay, you guys can come back. You can come play in the NFL, but you're going to get shit on. You're going to lose 4 Super Bowls. Warren Moon, you have to keep that mustache your entire career, and you're never going to win. Doug Flutie, you're just going to suck and eventually play for the Chargers. So, yeah, it was. Yeah, G Chuds loves Baker Mayfield. I guess, man. I don't know. G Chuds, do you think that the NFL is rigged and scripted, or do you believe that the NFL is legit? What's your take on that, G Chuds? Because you could say 3 quick facts for choosing Rams. Um, 3 quick, 3 quick facts. They're one of the teams that are playing, so somebody's got to win. The owner has a new stadium and a new fan base that they want to drive, and I don't know. That's it. That's it. Okay, yeah. So Steve Young got a ring as well. Um, Push Button says, "Haha, Warren Moon's mustache. You know what's up, Push Buttons." So yeah, so Steve Young did play, and then he went to Tampa Bay for a while, where he got shit on real bad when he was at Tampa Bay. So I wonder if he had to do like a some type of sellout or something like that. So Namath was in the AFL. He won in '68. Well, no, okay. I'm not talking about the AFL fact. I'm talking about the United States Football League, the USFL, that offshoot league that started in like the late '70s into the '80s, I think. Like, I'm not sure when it started, but it closed, right? And I think they got like Larry Zonka to come there. Chad Alamino says, was the NFL scripted during the 4 Super Bowl losses? Yeah. Um, yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was, I trace all the way back to the '76 season with John Madden's Super Bowl win. That was rigged, in my opinion. So, as far as I can go back, at least to 1976. So, and obviously, not every player was in on it back then. Not every game maybe was scripted like regular season just because the betting wasn't as big. But I think anybody who won and anyone who got Super Bowls and stuff, it was scripted. Yeah, and the fact that the Bills didn't win a ring and they had such a high powered team back then. Um, so Portola 45, what's up, Portola? Pat, what is your take on why there was no NFL for a long time? What do you mean there was no NFL for a long time? When was that? Um, I don't remember when there wasn't an NFL. Um, when are you talking, Portola? What was the age of that? And then Dwayne Neal, what's up, Dwayne? He says he had to do dirty deeds. Yeah, so maybe Steve Young was the only one who one of the only guys from the USFL who did the dirty deeds or whatever. So yeah, but I don't know. Um, he went to the Buccaneers and had a really rough go of it. So Fact Hunter, Jets won in '68, the year the towers began construction. 33 years later, the towers came down. That's what's up. Immaculate Reception, scripted. The Fact Hunter, Trump owned the Generals. Herschel Walker scored that lifetime contract. Yeah. Shout out to John Garrick T, the latest sub. I love the latest sub updater there. That's always really cool. um, yeah. So yeah, let me know what you mean by that, Portola. I'm not sure. And then Joel Brooks says it was 1983 through 1985. So I know that the USFL was paying real fat contracts to people, and that's what like got people to go. Um, I think Herschel Walker wasn't guaranteed much money, and he wanted to go to the USFL because he was going to make more money. And the Minister of Defense came from Memphis in the USFL and went to Green Bay. Yeah, that's right, Reggie White. Reggie White went. That's right. He went there first. So then he went to Philly, and he had pretty good success in Philly. And then he got finally paid off when he went to the Packers. And so yeah. So maybe there isn't. Maybe there's just certain quarterbacks or certain players who got um, uh, so Portola says L.A. Why didn't L.A. have one for a while? I don't know, man. Um, I don't know why LA didn't have a team for a while. Maybe they didn't need it because the Lakers were winning. What was the time frame? So the Raiders left and they went to Oakland. So LA didn't have a team for like to almost 20 years, right, or something like that. So um, I don't really know why. I'm not really sure. Maybe they didn't need one. Um, they didn't need one because they had the Lakers doing really well, and then um, yeah, I really don't know. There was plenty of California teams, so I really don't know why. Um, and then Johnny G says, I believe we lost the NFL in LA because the NFL needed a large city to use leverage to get cities to build stadiums. Um, and then Kevin says, never forget Sandy Hook Elementary sang in 2013. Yeah. Um, the Raiders move around more than my ex. Ha ha ha. That's hilarious. And Trap Gaddy says, "What do you think about Zach Hubbard?" I've already went over this a lot. He does a YouTube channel. He does YouTube channels and does gematria. So there you go. That's what I think. What do you think about him, Trap Gaddy? Name I've never heard of before. What's your opinion on Zach Hubbard, Trap Gaddy? We're all just dying to know what your opinion is on it. What was Wally says probably because it didn't line up with a good narrative. And then Dave Lechner says, "Do you watch Olympics at all?" No, I don't. I like watching some of the Summer Olympics once in a while, but not not just to do it. I'm not really into it anymore, and it's kind of just a um, USA propaganda thing since like 2002 or the 2000s. Like it's not like when I was a kid, I liked the Olympics because it showed all the other players from other states or countries and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. But now it's just like a big circle jerk for the USA. So it's Trap Gaddy, and it's Gotti with an A. Oh, okay. Sorry. Edward Moore's here. What's up, Edward? He says 5K. That's what's up. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, Ed. Thanks, dude. I hope you've been doing good too, Ed. Don't get to talk to you too much. I always hope you're doing well with some of the stuff that you struggle with. Ed, I hope that's. I hope you're keep fighting it. That's all you got to do. And it's always good to see you. Thanks for the shout out on the poker video too. um, Edward Moore was a poker dealer in Vegas back in the day, so he's always there to let me know if I made a good play or a bad play. So that's all. It's always good to see Edward Moore, and he's been down since I think my original first channel. So he's been down for a while, man. Dave Lechner says, and Sad's rookie plops into the conversation out of nowhere. Who's Sad's rookie? Um, That means Johnny G says all the teams that have new stadiums have used the thread. If we don't get a stadium, we're moving to LA. The Vikings, Dolphins, Niners have all used that leverage. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're Bob says, why does every stream have to be about Zach? Fuck my life, peeps. We aren't here to talk about other peeps. We are here to share positive energy, vibes, and expose the scripted WWNFL. Yeah, I mean, people are going to ask questions and stuff, so um, you can't deny people for asking questions, Bobby, and maybe people just bring him up because it triggers people and stuff like that. So they know that like bringing up Zach will trigger all his supporters and stuff like that. And I've seen that not only here but on other streams. I was watching an illusion stream where he was talking about like some of the people who sell the betting info and do it to get money and stuff like that. And he had mentioned Zach, and he said that Zach was a shill or whatever. And I know 208 Productions, who sometimes comments on stuff, he got all into it, and like people really defend him. So I think that maybe people bring him up just to trigger the people into defending him, or maybe people really want to know. People really want to know what my opinion is with him and stuff. So if it wasn't for Zach, we wouldn't know half as much we do. Derek says was watching Zach, and they wouldn't let his Goody Mob video play, and he snapped, "Touch what I never touched before, seen what I never seen before, woke up and seen the sun, sky high, sky high." I don't know if you guys know that Goody Mob jam, but that is awesome. And Dave Lechner says, "May I ask who Zach is?" Um, well, he asked. I don't like his bad attitude. I know it all wrong. Yeah. What can you do? I think I've stated my opinion about him enough. I just don't want to trigger Bobby, um, because I know Bobby knows him personally. So unless I know somebody personally, I really don't know. I just don't watch much of his stuff at all. Um, I don't really care too much about the gematria aspect of it, to be honest. And I know I can come off kind of conceited once in a while myself, but I try to be a little humble and maybe say that I don't know everything or be like that big of a dick to people. And I don't like to, like he said he wished people would die and stuff like that. I don't think that's cool, but it's just I just don't have a lot of time to invest in listening to a lot of people, so I don't really get into them. So um, but I think Bobby Gematria is an okay dude as far as from what I've seen here. He's got a wrench. He's always been polite and supportive here. So if he says that he's good, then I'm fine. I'm fine with his opinion. I've talked to Kevin a little bit, the missing offline, and he's a legit dude. So I appreciate his opinion, and that's all I can really go off of is the people that I know. Um, and people who have more information than I do on stuff. So I'm fine with that. So Dave Lechner says, Yokia. What's that? Like a name for a koala or something? And Bobby says, come together right now over me. Boom, 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 boom. Tony Tickles. Love the channel, my bro. Well, thanks, Tony. I love you too. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you before, Tony, but I'm glad to have you. How long have you known about me, or what what brought video to the truth with two O's? You know what I'm saying? Was it one of my recent ones? Um, one of my recent videos, or have you been down for a while, Mr. Tickles? Um, I've spent numerous hours with him multiple times. That's all besides the point. Um, have you ever went canoeing with him, Bobby? That's when you find out who's who is a friend. You need to go canoeing with them. You go canoeing down a river that's a little shallow, you find out what people are all about. Google X and X. I'm 100% dead serious when I say I think there is at least a 50% chance that LeBron is a genetically modified human being and in turn has no father. I believe he was grown in a test tube. So yeah, okay. Google X and XX. That's a very that's an opinion. So okay, that could be that very could happen. Um okay, Tony says I've been seeing your rig videos. Okay, cool, dude. Well, thanks for liking my channel, Tony, and thanks for supporting me. I appreciate that, dude. I just found, I don't know if that video made it out that I just did. But I found there was a bunch of comment responses that I was not seeing at all, man. Not at all. Which was kind of a little weird because I was responding to like all the comments, and they were held for review, and I was commenting on them all, and I did not realize that a ton of them were not okay. So that did go up. Um, yeah, a ton of comments weren't coming through, and they were a lot of response comments. So sorry if I didn't respond to you guys and you were doing comments and stuff like that. Um, okay, Lobo in the house. YouTube's been censoring comments like crazy lately. Okay, yeah. So I didn't know if it was me or if it was um all right, mods. Flint's may have created his 66th account to troll Pat. Which one is it? Is it the Google X and XX video? Um, yeah. So it was. Yeah. What's up, N Campbell? How you doing, bro? What's up, M Campbell? How's it going? Johnny G says I still got the Rams because the Georgia Bulldogs connection with Stafford. Could be. Yeah. Could be. I think it's a coin flip. Um. So Lobo says they've been censoring comments like crazy. Okay, did you notice that, Lobo, or what? How are your comments? Do you just leave them up? Because I notice. I think I seen you had a ton of comments on a video I was looking at, and it looks like you didn't interact with them or whatever. And with all the comments that I saw yesterday that have been coming through, there's just like no way to. There's no way to. Um, no way to keep an eye on all of them. There's no way to comment on all of them. I was trying to do the best I could after keeping some on review, and they did not. They were not coming through because people would be like, "He says Stanford instead of Stafford," and I would make fun of them, and then I'd make fun of those people, and I never would see a reply from him. I would like talk shit and stuff like that. So yesterday, all of a sudden, I click for like in the held for review, and all of these comments were there that were like had me tagged, and I was like, "What is all this?" And I had to go through thousands of comments yesterday to approve them, and then I just went and made all my comments allow all of them. So, but there were people who were like, "Man, he didn't. He's been hiding. He won't talk to me. He blocked my comments. He's hiding my comments." And people were even like, people were nice, like, "Oh, dude, I love your, I love your video." Like people were nice, and I hadn't seen any of it, so I was like kind of bummed because there could have been nice people to talk to that I totally missed. So that was kind of a drag. I hope I don't keep getting comments hidden and stuff like that. And then Joe Diaz says, speaking of censoring information, I start to hate Orwell's 84. Does anyone think this book is a manual for totalitarian control and censorship? Could be. Very well could be, man. Um, so yeah, and then Lobo said, you talking about Flint Truth Channel? Yeah, Kevin had mentioned brought him up or whatever. So um yeah, Lobo, he creates all these SAC accounts and comes in here and like plugs his channel and talks shit and stuff like that. And then we have to hide all his SAC accounts, and then he comes back in like 20 minutes later after he creates a new channel. Dude is totally insane. And he pulled you into it too, Lobo. He said you're a shill as well, and you're a fake. I don't know if you saw that, but that's the only reason that we talk about him, because he'll pop in on some real cheeky account. Kind of funny. Um, yeah, Ryan Goff, you got a blue wrench, Ryan. So you gotta use that wisely, Ryan. You can't just ban people because they don't believe in NASA like you do. So um, actually, Ryan, if you could, don't ban anybody tonight. Okay, you got the wrench, but um, I don't think you're ready to use the wrench yet, Ryan. And you're coming from the gym, so you're all filled with testosterone right now, and I don't want any trouble tonight. So don't ban anybody. Don't ban Lobo because he said LMAO, niggas gonna talk some shit. Don't ban him. Don't ban me because I just said the N word. But I'm just reading it, so I think you can say that sometimes if it's in a rap lyric, or I don't know if my personal life friend Black Lion is still here, but I've said the N, I've said nigga with Black Lion, but never talking about anybody but a white person. So um, I have let that slip a few times um, with some of my black friends, but I only say it in a situation where it cannot be misconstrued as a racism. Um, Red Rooster Truther says, I know not to bring him up ever again because the one time I could, I tell you were pissed, Pat. Um, I don't know if I was pissed, but he is kind of a bizarro type of dude. And I sent him $100. I sent him $100 to fix his car, and he went and bought his software that he now puts the music on. So, dude, it's like I'm taking I'm taking care of his family now. So his old lady hit me up. She's got my Cash App directly. I told her, while your old man's doing YouTube stuff, I'll keep sending you money, take care of you and the kids while he's off in La La Land and stuff. So Caesar says Bobby is the only guy that had Rams from beginning. I hope they don't flip the script. Portola, they were definitely made in a test tube. Goff, you're going to get your spankies from Papa Pat if you get out of line. Hope those buns are warm, my brother. Yeah, I think everyone should give a little a little spank to Ryan Goff. I think they used to do pink bellies when I was in the army, where you would get held down by a lot of dudes, and then they would pull the shirt up and then smack your belly with a hand. Edward Moore says, "Great breakdown of your word usage." Laughing my ass off. Take care, Truth. All right, Edward Moore, I will take care, and you too, man. I love you, Ed. I hope everything's going good. Joe Banks was up here a little bit ago. He says Goody Mob had dope music. Yeah, Goody Mob was like out of the Dungeon family, right? Johnny G, you'll never get banned. You can do what you want, Johnny G. You're one of them L.A. gangsters. You're one of those L.A. G's that were messing with David Menny for wearing his Raiders jacket. So we don't want to mess with you, Johnny G. You hate Tom Brady. We're cool with that. Um, Dave Lechner just chatted the small letter D. That's up. Um, Joe Diaz Dizon says Jesuits are scary, evil, and their mud history makes it hard to see. The muddy history makes it hard to see the truth. Imagine just average Joes who know the Khazarian mafia. Man. Ryan says, Johnny G, you're skating on thin ice, buddy. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. You say what you need to say. Look at Ryan. I knew giving that guy a wrench, he was gonna get all tough. He's probably wearing a like a trench coat in the house right now, and he thinks he's like Neo in the Matrix. Matrix. What did I say? Neo in the Matrix. Um, yeah, muddy waters, mud floods. That's what I thought too, Caesar. I thought mud floods too when you said that. Um, all history's muddy, dude. I don't know what to believe about anything. I don't know anything. Yeah, what was the other Goody Mob songs? They did that song with Outkast, Sky High, Sky High, and then what was another one? I don't know. Did they do the Players Ball, or was that Outkast? Um, yeah, I loved Outkast, dude. I got put on Outkast, AT Aliens. I think that was their second album, if I'm not mistaken. But I got AT Aliens when, geez, it was my 10th grade in high school. I got put on to Outkast and Goody Mob, dude. I thought that shit was so dope. It was so good. Sky High, Sky High. And AT Aliens was a great album. Throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. Oh, was that Goody Mob too? If you like fish and grits and all that dope shit, everybody in there was saying, "Oh yeah," no, that was Outkast. Um, this is what you think of me. What, the letter D? Oh, come on, Dave. I know. Oh, me too. Junior high school. Yeah. And then Outkast like kind of blew up after was Aquemini, right? Or was it AT Aliens? Um, yeah. Okay. So AT Aliens was the first album I seen, and then the next one was Aquemini, right? Um, and that's the one that had Skew It on the Barbie and Rosa Parks. That one was dope. And then by the next year, by their next one, with Bombs Over Baghdad, that one didn't. That one wasn't as good. I don't even remember what the name of that one was. Um, man, but that one had like more commercial hits, and then Miss Jackson and stuff like that. So that one wasn't good. Stankonia. Okay, yeah, no, okay, Stankonia. That was the one. Stankonia. Yeah, Stankonia was when it was like 98 or 99 when Stankonia came out. So that one was too commercial. That was like um, too pop or whatever. So, and then Kevin says, "Do you remember Gone Till November?" Gone till November, I've been gone till November. January, February, March, April, May. I've been gone till November. And send a piece to my mother. Yeah, Wyclef, man, that album never popped. That never popped. Um, Dang, okay, Bobby with the all caps. I came into this world from secondhand cocaine powder. I know it sounds absurd. I never chewed it, but it's in my veins. While the rest of the country jumping back off bridges with no snapback. Dang. Speaker box. Yeah, oh, the speaker box and the love below. The only song I really like off of that one is anymore is Roses. I think that song's still pretty good. I know you like to think your shit don't stink, but lean a little bit closer. Everybody will smell like do do do. And Kevin says, "Who was the girl that was with them?" She was hot. There was a chick with Outcast. I don't remember that. I remember their one song, "Mamacita Papadana." Mamacita. It wasn't Rod Digga. She was with the Flip Mode Squad and Busta Rhymes. Rod Digger, first female of the Flip Mode Squad. Rod Digger, Rod Digger was a chick that would beat up a dude. Like if I was like, hey, Busta Rhymes, you suck. Busta wouldn't get mad at me. But Rod Digger would run up and beat my ass. Um, which wouldn't be cool getting beat up by a chick rapper, but she was like a tough chick. I think Johnny G says, I hated Hey Ya. Yeah, Hey Ya was so overplayed. You couldn't scan through Detroit radio in 2003 without hearing Hey Ya 3 different times. It was really bad. If you want it, you got it. If you want it, baby, you got it. Now bust a move. You want it. You got it. You want us, baby, you bust a move. Anybody ever listen to any Dr. Octagon or Cool Keith? Now, if anybody knows some Dr. Octagon, Cool Keith, you are officially getting a wrench. And don't just say you know to get a wrench. You really got to know. You got to tell me some cool songs from Dr. Octagon. And I went and saw Cool Keith in like 1998 because he was a really weird rapper who did like kind of like Esham from Detroit, like acid rap, really awkward rap that like I don't think many black people really even liked. But Cool Keith came and played in Detroit, and me and my little crew of friends from up north were like, "Let's go get tickets to Cool Keith. That'll be a great way to drive to Detroit and do something." And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Whoa, we're the only white people in this whole thing, in the whole place." But everybody was cool, and I think I may or may not have had a pair of FUBU jeans on because I did have a pair of FUBUs. And up north, it was fine wearing FUBUs because there was no black people. But you get in Detroit with a pair of FUBUs, and hey, um, so yeah. Oh, G Love in the special sauce. Cooling out with the formula got the special sauce just 'cause she's my baby. My baby, my baby. Yeah, I used to love G Love, dude. Kevin, I think that if we went to school at the same time, dude, we would definitely have been in the same little stoner clique because we listened to all that shit, man. Massive Attack. We listened to G Love and Special Sauce. We listened to all that, dude. Um, oh Frank, well Frank, if I give everybody a wrench, then now everyone's gonna want a wrench. There, Frank, you got a wrench. You've been down forever. Um, but now it just looks like it's a wrench party in here. I should start a band, Pat Troothner and the Wrenches. Just be a bunch of dudes on the stage, all talking shit. Um, all talking shit, yelling into the crowd, um, peeing. I think people would end up peeing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ryan says, was Detroit a fun scene back in the day? I don't know. Back in the day, I never was there. Renaud says, what's the story behind the Detroit monorail SkyTrain? I heard it's not very popular. Um, shit. Um, Bobby Morlock, Herbie Weinstein, unblock Sean Burns. No way, Bobby Morlock. Sean Burns he's out of there. Derek 405, got any crack pipes, Pat? What do you mean from being in Detroit? Um, from being around Detroit? No, I don't. You get you can get crack pipes at the liquor store where you just buy a rose in a glass tube. So you can buy a rose, little plastic rose in a glass tube for like $3 or whatever. But really, you take the rose out, you put a Roxy in there, and then you do your thing. But no, I've never encountered crack cocaine in my life. I don't even think I've been around anybody high on it besides somebody that like I didn't know they were, and I was just like, "Whoa, that guy's a crackhead." Um, what is that called? Is it the Q line is the new train that runs up and down Woodward in Detroit, and then the People Mover. It's called. It's just like a sky rail thing that is a real slow and clunky sky rail. It's super stupid. And it's slow and it jerks you around and stuff, but it doesn't really go anywhere. I think it's supposed to go from like Greektown, where a couple casinos are and there's some restaurants, and it goes over to Cobo Hall. But it was put up for the reason of getting people around Detroit back in the day when Detroit wasn't that safe. I think like in the 90s or something. So, hey, what's up, tribe? Judah Lion, what's happening? Um, so yeah, so it's kind of obsolete. People only write it to just say that they wrote it. And now Detroit is kind of safe enough to where you don't have to take that and be up above. You can just walk around town. So it's kind of stupid. But as far as what Ryan said with the Detroit scene, I didn't grow up in Detroit, so I would just come to Detroit to go to concerts and stuff like that. And we only went a couple times in the 90s. So I never really knew about Detroit, and my mom's family lived just north of Detroit in the suburbs in a city called Royal Oak, which is pretty built up now. And we would come down and visit them in Royal Oak, and I thought that was the city, dude. I thought that was like metropolis, man. I was like, whoa, this is the biggest city ever. You know, there was punks, like Mohawk punks with the spiked mohawks and shit downtown and hanging out. Buck One Love, what's up? There was a large amount of black people. I thought that was really cool because I grew up all up in Vanillaville, so I thought it was so cool to be down around other people. I thought it was the raddest. But in the 80s and 90s, all the white people really didn't go to Detroit. So I would talk to, nobody ever went, like, I never went into Detroit when I was a kid at all, not even downtown or anything like that. We would just come down and go to the suburbs and visit my family and then dip out. And it wasn't, geez, I don't even know. The Budmaster says, "Did I hear Pat say Stoner Crew?" Yes, sir, Budmaster. I was legit 100% um, the Stoner Crew, dude. And I graduated in '99, so we were stoners before stoners were cool. We were like looked down upon for being stoners and stuff. So yeah, I legit was Stoner City, man. And most of my crew worked at Dairy Queen, and we all worked at Dairy Queen. And one of the people at Dairy Queen was a weed dealer, and it was sweet, man. It was really fun. It was a good way to almost not graduate high school. And then we were in drama. We were in the drama club. That was pretty stupid, but that was kind of just like a class to take or whatever. Whatever. But yeah, dude, I was huge. Oh, that's what's up, Buck One Love. That's sweet, Buck. Where are you at from Michigan? Up north, or you from down in the city or something like that? So, um, all right, Bobby. See you, bud. See you later, Bobby Morlock. Herb Weinstein, you have to unblock Sean Burns. If Sean Burns wants to be here so much, he needs to learn how to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Um, Kevin says, dude, my high school sweetheart worked at DQ. We used to call her DQ. LOL. Real funny, Kevin. That was great. Um, so Tribe says if I was ready for the Super Bowl. Not really. Not really. Not at all. I might I might watch it live with you guys. I might stream while it's on, depending on the kids and all that stuff, and see how the day goes. So, but I don't really care. I watched it the last couple years with my father-in-law, but I'm not going to go over there this year. I'm just going to stay home. So, um, and then Renaud says, "Did I get high off the whipped cream canisters at Dairy Queen?" Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was great. You would go, you're making a banana split. You get the old, oh, you're all out. And then everybody goes in. What, Dave's out of here? Dave Lechner? Oh, night missing Bobby Frank Ryan. All right, good night, Dave. Great to see you, Dave. Dave Lechner. Everybody give respect to Dave. Good to see you, buddy. You don't have to give respect to him. I don't know. Um, and then Buck, you said you were from out by Ann Arbor. Okay, that's cool. I lived in Ypsilanti for a year. Um, Lived in Ipsy for a year, and I worked in Ann Arbor in 1999, and I worked at New York Bagel Deli. I don't know if you've ever been there or what your story was. Ryle says, "Please stream with the game. That'll be cool." Yeah, I will. I'll do it. Um, like I said, hopefully everything goes well around the house, but I think I'll be able to. It's just kind of early, so the kids will be running around and stuff like that. So, um, Kevin says, then you couldn't get all the whipped cream out of the can. Um, yeah, no, it was rad because you would go in and you would use the old can to get a little blaster, and then you come out with the new can, and you'd just be standing there. And I remember one time a guy was like yelling at me from behind the counter. He was just like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Um, and I'm like looking at him, and then it like all came back to me where he's like, "What are you doing, you idiot? Make my blizzard." And it was like everything came back to me. So I finished up his banana split or whatever, and it was just like out of it. It was awesome. And then you would go get the cans that somebody already took a blast out of. So you go to get the new whipped cream and it comes out all runny. So we did have to have some etiquette at Dairy Queen where you had to make sure that you didn't hit the new cans, because if you have to make a banana split, that was like the longest thing to ever make at Dairy Queen. You got to do your 3 ploops of ice cream, and then you got to get your chocolate, your banana, and your chocolate, strawberry, pineapple, cut your banana, and then come in with the couple blasts of whipped cream. So if you went through all that and then to end that with a new or with a runny can of whipped cream and have to remake a banana split, it was like the worst, dude. It was some of the worst stuff. So we really had some etiquette about the whipped cream, and then maybe if you got lucky the last couple of days, you were able to take the can back and get your huff on, but you feel bad for your homie, so you're like, here, go get the new whipped cream, and then you hear like ba-doom, and they fall down in the cooler or something, and then you open the door, and your friend is laying on the floor, and they've got blue lips, and you're like, oh, great, um, cool. Johnny just passed out, so it was really fun. Tribe says Michigan is a cool place, especially if you want to go fishing. I've been there before. They have good fresh water. Um, and then Buck says, "Oh yeah, that bagel place is still there." Um, I knew it closed. I knew the bagel place closed. I think it was right on University Drive in Ann Arbor. Mamba forever. My boy's gonna get a strike for exposing Dairy Queen. That's funny. All the shit that we talk about in these streams and on this channel, and I get my first strike because I'm talking about whippets on a Dairy Queen thread. That would be hilarious, dude. Like I get a copyright claim from Dairy Queen or something, and I'm like, that's funny. Google, I don't even know what you're saying, dude. Sorry, Google. What happens with thousands of homeless around Ram Stadium in LA? I don't know. They probably take them up to the woods. Um, Johnny G, I commented to Zach that he was wrong about Ram being a goat, and he replied and told me to shut the fuck up, and he called me a bot. It was hilarious. Um, Tribe, even the Bible tells you that the ram and the goat are adversaries. Ram represents Jesus. The ram is the adult lamb. Yeah, that bagel place in Ann Arbor was dope, man. It was I had just graduated high school, and a couple of my friends were going to Washtenaw Community College. So I came down and just lived with them and worked at a bagel place, and I worked at security at the end of the night. Um, yeah, I don't know what's up with Google. He's just typing jokes or whatever. Google XNXX. If you want to get rid of him, Kevin, go ahead. I don't care. I haven't been paying attention to him. He's just spamming jokes or something like that. I don't know. Um, yeah, I remember Detroit got real cleaned up and stuff. Um, oh, that's it, Google. One more spammy comment and you're out of here. You're going to be part of the missing. Or Google, they're going to ship your ass to Abu Dhabi like Nermal, like Garfield used to send Nermal. Anybody watch Garfield back in the day when they would send Nermal? Garfield would always try to box up Nermal and ship her to Abu Dhabi. Um, yeah, Ann Arbor is a pretty cool town. It's all right. The bagel place was sweet, dude. It was so fun. I ate bagels all the time. I just ate bagels for like a year. Buck one loves laughing. And the bagel place, they used to do fried bagels called Fraggles. So it was a cinnamon raisin bagel that would get um, deep fried. And then after it got crispy like an elephant ear, it was rolled in cinnamon and sugar. And on Michigan game days, dude, that place was booked. It was just Fraggle City, dude. You'd be so greasy. Look flat Earth. All I'm saying is Rams will win and let people know who control the world. The Budmaster says, "Hey Pat, what was the biggest bong or zong that you hit?" I don't know what a zong is, to be honest. I don't really know. Probably your standard, maybe 2 footer or something like that, Budmaster. But um, we used to. I think my best bong thing was in high school, and we used to go to parties in the woods and whatnot. But there was a party at a kind of a preppy dude's house or whatever. Um, Google, the missing is an instructing character. I see. Sounds like a dictatorship. No, Google, but who are you talking to, Google? Are you having comments with the people in the chat, or are you just spamming the chat with jokes? the whole chat, it's like you want to talk to people. Boom. See you, Google. That's why I have my mods around. Anyways, so we went to a party at a preppy person's house. So like we were like hanging out, and they were like, "Oh man, hey Pat, like you're a stoner. Check out this bong that we made." And um, Gas says, "What is a Fraggle?" Fraggle is a cinnamon raisin bagel, and before you bake it, it's still doughy, and you put it in grease and fry it like a French fry, and then it comes out all crispy like an elephant ear. And then when it's still wet, you take that and you roll it in cinnamon sugar. So it's like a fried bagel, cinnamon raisin, and then it's rolled in cinnamon and sugar. That's what a Fraggle is. And that's what the bagel place I worked at in 1999 was famous for. And it was famous for hiring kids that stole shit. And they were like, do not drink the Odwalla. Don't drink the Odwalla. So what did we drink? Odwalla. I was this emoji. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Ryle says, I spent high school breaking into Freemason lodges. Dang, bro, that's crazy. Who would you replace Kendrick Lamar with at the halftime show if you could? I don't know. Band of Horses. There you go. Band of Horses, or Alan Raymond from Canada to come play, or something like that. Yeah, you like that, Buck? 1999. I like to say it like that. So back to my bong story. So if you guys remember, like the little bubbler bongs that had the pipe, the bowl, and the hose coming out, and then you would pack the bong and it would bubble down below. But it wasn't like a standard bong that would come through. It was like it had two tubes running down. Well, somebody made that out of a 3-liter Fago bottle. So I don't know where you guys are from. There was a 3-liter Fago soda, cheap soda. I don't know. It was probably only in the Midwest, but it had a big wide mouth, and somebody put like a cork in it or whatever and had 2 straws running down into the water, and then 1 straw was running up into the bowl and 1 was running into a hose. And it was all airtight and everything, but I knew that I could just crush those bongs. So they were like, dude, you got to hit this. You got to hit this. You guys are a stoner, you know. Mike O'Brien says graphics. I think graphics was the plastic, but I want to say it was like a bubbler. We used to get little ones. They were little and they had like a glass jar for the where the water was, and then it had the bong, and it had the bowl and the hose coming out of like a cork that was in the top. I didn't really like them, and they didn't really rock you like a bong did. But these kids, they packed it up, and I'm hitting it and I'm hitting it for days and days, and they're like lighting it, and I like took the biggest blast, and they were like, "Whoa, man, whoa, what is he doing? What is he doing?" And I took like as much as I could. Then I pulled a cigarette out back when I was smoking on them basic lights. So I pulled a cigarette out, still holding in my bong, lit the cigarette, lit that, and then held that in. And then I walked out, and everybody was like going nuts because these dudes were like preps. You know, they would smoke a little bit of weed and then like puke and stuff. And we were like, we would bomb everybody out. Anybody who tried to smoke us out, they would end up tapping out, and we would just keep the rest of their. They would their bong would their blunt would be half, and they're like, we got to get out of here, and we would just put out their blunt, save it for later, because we were kind of stingy weed people too, because we would always go through our weed so fast. So if we could take anybody's weed that tapped out or anything like that, we would. But after I lit my cigarette and inhaled that, and then I walked out, everyone was cheering, and then that's when the stars hit me, and I was like, and like I had to like sit down, and my hat looked like this. I was like, where am I? But it probably wasn't definitely because of the weed. It was more because of just a lack of oxygen. I think because I had went for a while without it. But that was probably my crowning bong achievement, and that was in high school. So that shows you how hard we went when we were youngsters. We were wild, and my stepdad used to hook me up with weed. He used to sell me by like 10th grade. He'd sell weed, um, sold weed to me and stuff like that. If you let those iron lungs hit it for free, you hella dum da dum dum. That's 5 on It by the Loonies, if nobody picked that one up. Kevin says, I think I hit a 5-foot bong one time. It took a two-man crew to run it. Those bongs were always so overrated. Buck says, I appreciate this channel very much. Keep pushing the truth and wake the world up with love and connection. Yeah, I'm trying to. Trying to bring the love. Sometimes I get a little haterade in me with the people in the comments and stuff. But hopefully, now that I'm seeing all of the comments, I can just pay attention to the ones that are nice and the cool people who want to talk to me and stuff, and not focus on um, the people who were trying to wake up and stuff. So, yeah, says I've trimmed bud before and made hash and edibles back in the day. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the weed game's so big here in Michigan right now. Like, I could totally go get a job trimming bud or being a bud tender or something. I might do security at a dispo, just because that would be fun. Because I have my CPL and I've done security work before, and I can stand there and have my chest rig on and stuff like that. So I think that would be cool. And I like security. You got to stay alert and stuff, but most of the time you're just standing there hanging out or sitting down, and that's kind of my alley. I'm at the point in life where I've worked quite a few hard jobs, and I'm still in okay shape, but I like couldn't do cable anymore for Comcast because that was messing up my back carrying the ladder, and I've had 2 surgeries on my left shoulder. My right elbow, I had to get my um, um, nerve fixed. My left elbow hurts. I'm gonna have to get that surgery. So I'm just like so busted up where I'm past the point of working manual labor and stuff. So, and Buck says, I'm about to get a job trimming. Fire. So I don't want to do trim or bud tending just because it's been like 6 months since I quit smoking weed. So I'd rather not work around it just because I know eventually it might be kind of tough for me. But I wouldn't mind doing security. And I think most weed smokers and stoners like that are pretty chill people. So I don't mind being around them. Um, but like I said, security is just pretty easy. You're either sitting at the desk watching people come in, checking the cameras and stuff, or you're standing outside with like a chest plate carrier on and a gun, and you're looking like a badass. Ryan says, "Dang, Pat, I didn't know you were so messed up. Want to come work for me? What do you do again? You turn tricks, Ryan? I forget. Ryan, you're into the restroom stuff, right? I'm not going to be one of them restroom boys with you, Ryan. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen." And Renat says, "Why does Eminem go along with the NFL gimmick? Because Eminem's he's just a puppet. Eminem's just a total puppet. Um, um, total puppet. I don't know what happened with Eminem. Like Derek says, is he's a clone? But how does he have facial hair? Um, I don't know who Eminem. What has become of him? I don't think it's the same dude or whatever. But the once he did that freestyle rap that allegedly dissed. Remember he did that freestyle where he dissed Trump. It was just so cheesy. Like he's been a sellout for a while. At the minimum, he's a sellout. But now he he's probably been dead for a long time and stuff like that. So, but who knows? He said he saw some evil woman in a house in Detroit and blah blah blah. So I don't know. I don't think it's the same dude that started off. Ryan says, haha, wait, is that why you gave me a big blue wrench? Is there something I need to know? Um, 8 Mile Eminem took his booty hole. Tom Green is Slim Shady on MTV. Um, yeah, who knows? And then Gabe says you got to be careful opening, closing, and security work. Yeah, definitely, especially with the weed stuff too, because it's all cash nowadays and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely tough, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about any dispos in the Detroit metro area that have got hit or anything like that. Hey, what's up? Dave Hawash is here. Dave Hawash, what's happening? Um, Zach O'Hare says T. Higgins, TD. I'm not sure what that means. Was that one of the touchdowns on um, one of my videos or something? Uh, I like Eminem's song for the um, As the World Turns off of the Slim Shady LP. I don't know why the world keeps turning around and round. I wish it would stop and let me off right now. Um, Pat, you got a job as a sanitation tech if you ever make it to Cali. Okay, cool, man. Um, I got, I did, I was a custodian. I was a custodian at a high school. Boy, oh boy, could I push that dust mop. Boy, oh boy, could I clean them shitters. Um, Eminem admits he screws Dr. Dre in the ass. I'm sure you guys remember my story about when I did cable and the guy who had feet fungus. He told me that Eminem was had sex with men. He's like, I went to parties with Eminem and my feet smell like shit. My feet smell like bed stores. So, um, yeah, Dave, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I made a what are they called? A meme or whatever. I photoshopped a meme with you guys. I was gonna post it in a community post. I'll try and do it again. I don't know. It was too big. It was too wide. But it was a picture of who's the Bremer guy? Um, that he messed up Iraq. Dave Bremer. What Paul Bremer. Paul Bremer was the guy who went over in Iraq after we invaded and like nobody liked him, so he had all the security. So there was a picture I found of him walking out of a helicopter with like six, Blackwater operators. They all had chest rigs on them, and they all had M4s. So I photoshopped my face on Paul Bremer's, and then I put a bunch of your guys' names um, above the operators, and I was like, "This is how I feel." In the last live stream, it was like the day after, where like I'm Paul Bremer, everybody's hating on me, and all you guys were the dudes protecting me because you guys were all you guys have my back. So I'd like to find a way to put that up, but I don't know how to shrink it and stuff like that. So, um, is there really? Does Eminem really have a spaghetti restaurant? I didn't know about that. They say he lives up in Rochester Hills, and he doesn't come out or anything. So like you never see that dude around Detroit and stuff. And you used to see um Kid Rock. You used to see him around quite a bit. Um, you used to see him around town a lot. He would come and like walk into your party and stuff like that. And not that he's cool or anything, but it was it is what it was, just someone who's at least out and about. You know, player props, he's scoring Bengals for the weeks. I think Bud asked if I was into regs, brickweed, or if it was um, kind bud. And no, it was all brickweed for me in the 90s up north. And like Michigan's a peninsula, so there wasn't a lot of cross traffic. So the only weed and stuff that would come up would be coming up from down south. So it was all regs. It was like the grossest Mexican brickweed you ever thought ever could see, dude. And then when in '98, this chick I was talking, I know this chick in our crew was talking to a dude who went to Eastern Michigan University in Ypsilanti. So he moved to Ypsi and he came back up and he had the fire. He had the kind bud. And it was like the best shit we had ever had, but it was so expensive. So like you could buy it really cheap Regos or expensive kind buds. So we still like rock the Regos. Um, but yeah, once a year later, it was 99, 2000 that we were living in Ypsilanti. And that's when you couldn't find regs anymore. All we could get was just chronic. It was kind buds, and then they started calling it chronic. And then I joined the army and dipped out. So I left the state for like 3 years. But when I came back, it was all chronic and good stuff, and people had stopped calling it kind bud, and they started calling it chronic and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it was rowdy. Swan Man says, "What the fuck? Oh, what do you mean, Swan Man? What's going on? What are you WTFing, dude?" Um, and then somebody said they had gout. Man, someone said gout a little bit ago. Sorry, I didn't talk about your gout comment. I forget who that was. Zach O'Hare, right? Everyone take a second to talk about gout. Okay, no, Dave Many says security work was harsh. Depends on what's events. I'm retired. Got chronic gout now. Dang, bro. Um, yeah, Joel. Yeah, I definitely smoked the resin, bro. Of course, dude. I would show up to work with that smelly hand because you had resin. You couldn't get that resin off your hand. Joel, go back and look at. I put two comedy bits up from when I did stand up comedy years ago. Um, so the second one, I was on a I was on a was it public access show, and it was a really bad bit because there was only like 10 comics in the crowd. Um, so the I did a bit about smoking resin. So I had a whole comedy bit about smoking resin and your hand smells like resin and you go to work. Yeah, Kevin says smelly hand and sticky, couldn't get that shit off. So like your hand your hand smelled like resin and you go to work and they're like, "Oh, what does that smell?" And you don't want to tell people you've been smoking resin, so you just say, "Oh, I my hand was in shit." And they're like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, I got poop on my hands." And they're like, "Go wash your hands." And you're like, "Okay." And like that was less embarrassing than saying that you're a crack addict and you were smoking resin for the last 3 days. Um, yeah, so when the pipe would build up that much resin, you could call it pooping in your mouth. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the poop in your mouth. Um, LOL, I use alcohol. Yeah, Mike. I mean, now if you just have to clean your pipe because it's full of if it's full of resin, you just use like pipe cleaner or alcohol, and then you just dump it out and then throw that shit away. But but when you were young, um, that resin was like gold. Like it was 3 days before 3 days before payday. and you would clean your pipe out, and you would have resin for like 4 days, and your weed guy's like, dude, you ready for your re-up? And you're like, no, but you forget what day it is because resin takes you on like a different type of high, man. Um, it's funny you guys are laughing. You could light your fingers for a week and still get high. Pat, that comedy has to be hysterical. I can't wait to see it and roll laughing. I don't know, Joel. I only did stand up for 3 years, so it was only so good. Old man Clemens hates shit. He called the shit poop. That's funny. Don't put it out with your boot again, Edgar. Don't tell me my business, devil woman. Call the fire department. This one's out of control. Billy, when are you going to find whatever it is you're looking for? There's a nice piece of shit. That was funny. Whatever. Resin is such a different kind of high. Totally head heavy. Zombie kind of high. Haven't smoked resin for years. Yeah. Yeah, really. Shine Steady says, bro, you could be the next George Carl. George Carl, the coach for the Supersonics. Okay. I guess I could be a basketball coach. I think you mean George Carlin. Shine steadily. Um, yeah, dude, I'm a pretty funny guy, but comedy's really saturated. Everybody's doing comedy nowadays, so it's kind of overrated. Um, but yeah, that's funny. And David says that was me. I don't know. I forget what I was talking about already. Um, I used to like. Oh, you ever do a side toke? I've taught some kids side tokes. Um, where my little nephew was living with me for a couple years, a few years ago, and we didn't have any bud or anything like that. He's like, "Damn it, we don't have anything to smoke." And I knew he had a pipe that hadn't been cleaned for a while, and I says, "Back off, bitch." So I grabbed the pipe and I flipped it over and I put my thumb in the bowl part, and then I took the lighter in the choke hole, and it was like, woof, woof, just like, and you really got to get it hot. You really got to get the pipe, like the flame has to be there in there for a while to get the pipe resin going and stuff like that. And dude, it was Smoke City, and he was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Side tokes." He took the side toke back up to Bay City. Ryan, I don't smoke weed either, dude. um, Buck One Love, I'm gonna go watch your videos. Y'all have a great night. All right, see ya, Buck. Thanks for coming in, dude. Good talking to you. Glad you came by. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, all the comedians aren't that funny. Yeah, they're really not. Some of them are, but most of them aren't really that funny. So, and then Kevin says, "Smoking seeds make you sterile." Remember that? Seeds were the worst, dude. Oh, they were the worst. Yeah, no, I don't smoke either, Ryan. So we're good. But I definitely um, have smoked. So yeah, Caesar rolling a roach joint. Never smoked stems or seeds. That causes brain cancer. Pat gonna do some Green Beret shit to those Jesuits. Yeah, I guess. I don't know much of the Green Beret stuff. I could do some infantry stuff to the Jesuits. I could shoot them. I could maybe wrestle them up and stick them with a knife or something like that. But besides that, that's about all I could do. I don't know what the Green Beret shit would do. The Green Berets would just like train the indigenous people to fight guerrilla warfare. So that's really all the Green Berets would do, or call in an airstrike um, to kill them. Yeah, car floor weed's the best, man, because like you don't have any weed, so you go check the car car floor, and that's when you find like a big old nugget, and you're like, "Yeah, dude, where?" You're like so excited. Kevin, you're gonna go shoot pool tonight, dude. It's late, homie. Um, Dave Many says, I had too many bad experiences with weed, lol. I don't knock it except for I worked 4 different dispensaries and the kids there came through are jacked up, man. Going, no. Yeah. If you smoke weed in high school when you're too young, it really fucks up your trajectory. So if you don't smoke and then you become an adult and you start smoking weed for like whatever, that's one thing or whatever. So, but like starting in high school, if you start in high school, it does mess up your brain, and it makes it into like a real big habit and stuff. So that's where my problem was. The habit just gets out of control. I like the buzz and stuff like that, but it just like ends up becoming an all day thing for me, and I'd rather not. Johnny G says, "Gonna do some 101st Airborne shit to those Jesuits? No, I'm not gonna do anything that's jumping out of a plane. I never was airborne. I will walk like 20 miles to where the Jesuits are, and then I'll eat some food, maybe take a dump in the woods, and I'll bury it because I'm not a surface shitter. And then I'll go back to what I said earlier. I'll shoot them from like 200 to 300 yards away, and then that's it. Or I'll move in and do some close quarter stuff, but I don't want to get that close to people. I'd rather shoot them for a while. Or like Sabe says, yeah, we could just teach them to get high and occasionally call on an airstrike. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever go on an offensive type of operation again. Probably just defense. I'll sit there. Kevin says eagle eye. Well, that's right, son. I always had I always shot expert, man, for sure. Always shot expert. It was kind of nice because I had hunting experience when I was a kid. Um, I had hunting experience as a kid, and pretty cool. And that never messed up my shot. Here's my most high speed picture of all time. There's me and my class A's. I know you love that beret, Gabe. I know you love it, dude. You. This was probably my most high speed picture. I just found that negative in a photo album of mine, and um, it was pretty sweet. So I found the negative, and I didn't have the photo for a long, long time. So I had to go to an old school photo shop and get that picture. Um, I got it blown up. I don't know if I'm gonna frame it, but that was like my most coolest tough guy looking era. And my beret was crispy, dude. I was attached to a scout troop, a bunch of scouts, and they're a bunch of turds. And I was like super high speed. My beret was like probably the best beret in the troop because they all look like pizza guys. Um, Gabe says, "Damn, Skippy, you must have shaved that beret." Oh, dude, I made love to that beret, man. That beret was woo woo. Shine Steadily says, "Have you ever turned into Tinfoil Hat podcast with Sam Tripoli?" Maybe I've heard the name Sam Tripoli, but I've never really listened to it. I don't listen to a lot of truther stuff. I want to say I heard something about it. I don't know if it was talking to Kevin or Jake or something like that, but um, no, I don't think I've ever listened to him. Why, Shine? Do you really like him? Um, Okay, Ryle says tin foil hat is great value, brand truth. Okay. Um, I listen to IPS Infinite Planes Radio once in a while, and I like listening to Pockets of the Future just because if I'm like working or something, I don't mind having those guys on. Um, but Yeah. And then Johnny G says, Pat gonna do some first cavalry shit to those Jesuits. How about now? No, still not now, dude. Um, you could do 25th ID or second ID. I'll do some of that shit. I'll do some 120 millimeter bang bang up their ass, some of that mortar, some of that high angle hell, some of that death from above. I don't mean to throw a blue wrench into your plans, but I'm going to have to banalize you if you keep talking about violence against Jesuits. Pat, this is your final warning. I don't know. Can a moderator ban me? Does a mod have a kill switch for the for the for the stream? Like we start talking about flat Earth or whatever, and then Goff just shuts it down. Just boom. Sam provides a great platform just as yourself. Check him out if you ever get a chance, player. I will, Shine. Thanks, dude. Um, um, Bobby comes in. You talk about shills. Sam Tripoli is a number one stunner. What? Number one stunner? What? People call Zach a shill, but think Hollywood Sam isn't? Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I don't know who's who. Um, I don't know who's who out there, but I don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't listen to too much of the stuff. I think like most of the truth stuff we've already all listened to. We've already all went down that road. So now it's like what else is there in the truth community that we need to sit around and listen to? You know, as far as people like us that are awake and we've pretty much heard it all. What else is there for some people like I like listening to people's opinions on stuff that I don't know that I'm not paying attention to. So I don't like watch the mainstream media. I don't pay attention to these people who've died and whatnot. The celebrities who've died, the rituals, all that. So I like I'll listen to some people if they touch on that stuff, but like most of the people that do the truth stuff now, like RV Truth, he just does like truth entertainment, just entertaining stuff for truthers to watch, you know. So it's I never wanted to like be in the truth movement. I never wanted to be a truther, but I do enjoy talking about true stuff and you know talking with people about conspiracies and whatnot and what they believe and why they don't believe in something and why I do. And I love having that conversation. But for as far as content goes, it's just kind of like, a little too much. Okay, it's more about the guests that Sam has on, not as much about Sam himself, but Bill Coop has been always been the truth. You mean Bill Cooper? Yeah, okay. Um, Bobby says, give Sam a try. I guarantee after a couple of videos, you will see right through him. I feel you have decent discernment. Um, yeah, I think I do. But then at the same time, I watched RV up until like October, you know. And I started getting a little suspicious of him when he was talking shit about all the people from the Jeranism and all them. But then he went on their show with them. So I'm like, if you're calling these people out, why would you be on a show with them? That just didn't make any sense to me. And then that was right when I met Jake, and Jake kind of like helped open my eyes to that whole group of people and whatnot. So um, that's just kind of how I feel about it. But I don't know. Yeah, I could. I'll check Sam out and see what he says, but I just don't have a lot of patience for that, and I don't have a lot of time. So if I'm excuse me, if I have time to if I have time to listen to or watch something on YouTube, wanna I'll either watch something to be making a video on. So like if I have time, like when I'm home with the kids, I try not to be on YouTube all day. So I'll film a video or do something like that and then just shut it off. Or if I'm working, I like to listen to either music or I like to listen to something that's funny. Um, I like what is it? Mike David from Red Bar. I like listening to his old clips. I don't think he's doing anything new, but I just like to listen to him because he's funny. And everybody, I want to be entertained just like everybody else. So I don't want to just listen to heavy shit all the time because that's kind of a downer stuff. That's why I don't get on. That's why I don't go on BitChute that much anymore because BitChute's just super heavy stuff, all about the jab, and I'm not. I don't know. It kind of puts you in a weird vibe, you know. I'm not. I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing, and shout out to Andrew J. Beatty. He's my latest sub. What's up, Andrew? Yeah, dude. Yeah, Sabe says that group is crazy. Jake broke it down pretty well. Yeah, yeah, he definitely did. He definitely broke that up really well. I haven't seen Jake in a couple days, not since his Canada truck driver thing or whatever. But yeah, I didn't know any of that. I didn't really follow any truthers, besides just a couple people. I mean, I didn't even watch hardly any of RV's live streams or anything like that when he would put them out. Because just at that point, I had already like totally um binged all that shit in like 2012, 2013, 2014. So by like 2015, I was like over it. I was like, okay, yeah, all that exists. So I'm just going to try to like lay low. And I'd already tried like the blowhorn approach of talking to people to wake them up. So by that point, I'd quit doing comedy and met my wife and we were having kids and stuff. So I just was kind of over it. And I would, I would talk to some people in between certain areas. Like when I lived in Dearborn, I lived by a Freemason. The neighbor was a Freemason, so I'd always troll him and ask him about Freemason stuff, and he never wanted to give it up. And my brother-in-law, he was kind of into the truth, and then he like went back into the Matrix. He was like, ugh. He was like Cypher. He's like, it's too cold on the Ebenezer. Um, the Budmaster says, "Who is Jake? Jake from State Farm." What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? No, Jake Gibson. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Budmaster. Jake the asshole. He's a he's a dude that he used to be a flat Earth asshole. He does truther stuff or whatever. Pretty cool dude. We talk offline a little bit. He plugged my channel quite a bit and followed my channel, like one of the first bigger channels that followed my channel. So I don't know if you're just joking and you really know who he is. Hey, what's up, Blackbird McKnight? What's happening? Um, Blackbird McKnight, man. Lobo hasn't gone live in a while. I hope you're doing okay, man. I hope you're all right. You were always on those streams, regulating, being the mod of all mods, man. Doing his thing. Lobo was in here earlier. He stopped by to say hi. Made me feel good because he said that YouTube's been messing with his comments too, or they've been censoring comments. So, um, okay, Budmaster, you didn't know who he was? Yeah, no, he's a cool dude. He does pretty good live streams, and he's like a real honest guy. He's like me. He's like an actual dude. He's not fake. He's pretty dope. He's a pretty cool dude. And he exposed a bunch of the people in the flat Earth community as being all connected and having a bunch of weirdo sicko PEDO type of people connected to them and stuff. So, um, you were joking. Okay, I figured you were joking with Jake from State Farm for sure, dude. I definitely didn't think. Is this a call-free show, Pat? Yeah, sorry, Bobby. It is. I tried the last two days to get onto Verizon. I gotta go to the Verizon store and have them look at my phone. I cannot add minutes to my phone. It's so stupid. It's like so dumb. So by Super Bowl, I will have the phone working. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go. I gotta leave the dog home. I gotta give her one of her Xanny bar pills so she doesn't chew anything up, and then I gotta go drag the kids to Verizon and have them um, fix the stupid burner phone. So I'm sorry about that, guys. It has to do with um, my password and my Verizon account. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. I'm stupid. Oh, his YouTube is Jake the Asshole and Jake Gibson. He has 2 channels, so sub to both of them and stuff. Bobby says you should grab a cheap smartphone. I got a cheap smartphone. I got a nice smartphone, and then I got a burner. Yeah, so I'm all 3 phoned up, y'all. And I thought to get a burner would be cool because instead of having a smartphone, I was like, I'm going back to a track phone. And then having a track phone is the most inefficient thing on whatever we're living on. It's so stupid. Even sending texts, I don't want to send even a text to anybody. I got to send a big text. All you get is K. I don't even do LOL. I can't send anything. I can't open links. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing. So I got to go and get hopefully the burner moved over to the iPhone, which is like how I edit my videos and do any filming that I need to when I don't have access to our good computer. And then if they can't take the family phone or whatever they call it and put it, then I have to get a new number on this when I go to the new carrier. Yeah, a burner would be the old flipperoo, but I call the burner my droid too. So like I call the burner just like a phone that I don't use or anything like that. Um, so the burner is my actual phone, which is dumb. It's like way too much of a hipster thing to do. I shouldn't have done it. Stupid. So hopefully I can get that moved back. I just know it's going to take a while going to the phone place, and I hate going to the phone place. Especially the Xfinity phone place. Just we could do Xfinity Mobile because it's cheap. So whatever. Yeah, it's stupid. And Johnny Cash is here. Will there be magnet footballs being used in the Super Bowl? Yeah, I would say so, Johnny. I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah, I think they use them in every game. I've noticed that there hasn't been a lot of magnetic manipulated field goals in the playoffs or on And Ryan Goss says, "All right, guys, I'm going to the Barsky and Hutch. Johnny G's Luther comment has me super triggered, and I need to find solace in the bottom of a beer or a fat chick." All right. Crude Tubes here. He says, cell phones are the ultimate tracking device, worse than Google. Yeah. At this point, it's like they want to get us, they're going to get us. They know all about us. So I don't know what to tell you. JD says Burrow is the next Brady. Very well could be. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I had an iPhone before the burner, but I just was like, I don't want an iPhone anymore, so I'm just gonna get rid of it, go back to a burner, and then I started doing YouTube, and everything started going good with the channel. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I had a GoPro, and I was trying to like do videos with that, and then put the videos on my laptop and then edit it. And I was like, this is so stupid. And some videos, it's way more efficient to use an iPhone for the editing. And like my wife will take the good computer to work on the days that she works. So if I want to do a football video real fast, it's way quicker for me to edit it on by filming my computer with my iPhone and then doing it on my phone with iMovie. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice. Um, so it's just way easier. So I can kind of double dip. I much rather would use the computer to do the video because I can do a screen share of the video and it will come out in a higher quality, but it does take a little bit longer. So the cell phone works better. And then, like, if you go somewhere and you don't have GPS, it's so stupid. It's just flip phones are so freaking stupid. And then if I have to convert my burner phone and get a new number, then I have to go in and do like all my Google accounts, all my stuff that has my backup two verification phone number. I have to fix that. So it's like just so stupid. I'm just so sick of having all these phones, and then I'm sick of even talking about these phones. Why are we even talking about this shit right now? So yeah, and then what? Tom Brady's thinking about coming back. Isn't that what's going on? Um, yeah, Jimmy G's all sad and he's going to go to the 49ers or something like that, but I don't know. I'm losing my voice, so I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys, just so I can keep my pipes fresh for Sunday. I'd like to go and try to be live for the whole length of the Super Bowl if we can, whenever kickoff is or whatever. So I'll get the phone up and running so you guys can call in. KC Shrenshaw, Uncle Dick, no way. Uncle Dick, yay. KC Shrenshaw is back, man. Uncle Dick, we miss you. You've been gone since the Cowboys lost, dude. You were another gematrinator that disappeared. Um, yeah, Johnny Cash. I think they use magnet balls in every game, every single game, and it's all about who's got the gloves on. I don't know if they can turn the gloves on and off or whatnot, or with the field goals. But yeah, no, definitely there'll definitely be some magnetic grip catches. I think they're in every game now, and I don't know. Who knows? Every player could be wearing them, so who knows? Uncle Dick, Casey Crenshaw. Okay, I'll look for your name, Crenshaw. Joel Brooks. Everybody is going live for the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, I hope I can. It just really depends on how the kids act all day, and I'll always have to check in with the El Presidente to make sure that that's all clear and stuff. So, um, I don't know. I'll put a community post up Sunday to let you guys know exactly when they were or when I do. Doug Mauer's here. Yo, what's up, Doug? What if the owner's names got drawn out of a hat each week, like a lottery? Uh-huh. Yeah, Uncle Dick. I'll have the phone back up and running on Sunday so you can call in. Hopefully you enjoyed your little time off from YouTube. You took you a little break or something like that. Um, you were wrong about the Cowboys, man. I was too. I thought the Cowboys were gonna win, but you had done all that gematria about it. So, um, So that's why I don't like to say any predictions are for sure. I like to always kind of speculate and kind of joke around because when you're wrong, when you're like, oh, I'm wrong, like Tyler Durden, he was like, oh, the Packers are gonna win. Na, 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 na. Oh, okay. Save you erased my email. It's all good, Gay. I just tried to invite you to poker. You said you live up in Troy. We're only about however many minutes away. Um, I don't know if you read it or not, or even replied, but I tried to email you. But anyways, I got to piss, guys. So I think we should end it here. Uh, Jake, Pat for High School Treasure. What's that from? Is that from a movie? High School Treasure. How about Jake for the Area 1 Comptroller? Um, I don't know if you watch It's Always Sunny, Jake. Oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They try to, Dennis tries to become get into politics so that he can start taking bribes. And he runs for Area 1 Comptroller, and he doesn't even know what the comptroller is. And then they get in all this trouble for with the mob and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, Pat for High School Treasure. But anyway, sorry, Jake. I'm about to dip. Sorry, Doug. I've been on for a couple hours now. I'm gonna try to go earlier, so I'm not up till 1 and 2 in the morning on my lives. Um, shit. I want to go hit me back, or I'll send you another email. Yeah, I'll email you again. I think we're gonna play next Saturday. I was gonna play tomorrow, but everybody's out of town, so I don't know. What are you doing for the Super Bowl? Maybe we could play during the big game, the big Super Bowl game, and then I can tell all these dickbags on the live to kiss my ass. I'm playing poker with a fucking Green Beret, bitches. Um, so I don't know. I'd rather not have to watch the whole Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind having it on in like the background or whatever, but I'd much rather be doing something else whilst watching the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl. Um, so yeah, and I live down by the zoo, dude. So um, I live down by the zoo, so not too far away. Um, oh, okay. Jake's been listening for the last hour on his way home. Cool, dude. Did you hear me plug in your channel? Some people were asking. We were talking about you. We was talking about you. I love how you always pop up. The Circus Observer. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl? I'm saying the Rams. I'm saying the Rams by 21 points, yo. The Rams by 21. The Rams are gonna blow the stripes off the Bengals. They're gonna win it big. We know Pat will tune in for Eminem, repping the Motor City. Everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up, up. Now this man stands tough. Making the man stand tough. Notice this man did not have his hands up. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? 1, 2, 3, 4. Your pock, I don't know. I'm trying to do the rap from 8 Mile. Lotto, your tank top screaming, I don't fit you. Sorry. Okay, Casey, I'll catch you later, Uncle Dick. Making predictions about the script, doing stuff like grading work and lab reports while the Super Bowl is on in the background. That's what's up, Joe. That's what's up, Joe Dies on. Yeah, doing very, very little actual football going on. Ryan Goff says, "Oh my God, they have women's Olympic speed skating on. So lame. Much rather be here." I thought you went to the bar. I thought you were going slump busting, Ryan. Get yourself out of that slump with a big girl. Joel says, I think it's going to overtime. It's close, 15, 20 minutes away. Unfortunately, got plans this time. Yeah, it's all good. Next Saturday, more than likely, is when we'll get it popping. I really forgot that this weekend wouldn't be good. So, yeah, you be well too, Bobby Gematria, even though you retracted that comment. um, Why do you think the Rams will win with a blowout? I don't know. I don't have any real reason to believe that. I just think most people in the rigged NFL community, if there is such a thing, a lot of those people have said that they think the Bengals are going to win due to Joe Burrow, the Joe Montana, the Joe Namath connection, the Bengals not winning for 33 years, um, I don't remember what else, um, what other connections that the Bengals have. But when everybody in the rigged NFL community sways one way, I like to just go the opposite way just for shits and gigs. So I did it a couple times in the playoffs and got it right and felt really cool about it. I mean, really cool. So I want to feel really cool about it again. So I'm just saying the Rams by 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I don't think that the NFL cares about keeping the game close because everyone's going to watch the Super Bowl. So it really comes down to Vegas. So I don't know. I guess the Rams are giving up 4 points. So um, I really don't know. So I think that's I'm just throwing that out there. I just think the Rams will win by 3 touchdowns, and I have no cred or whatsoever to it. I'm just playing devil's advocate. So why are all these gematria guys not multimillionaires yet? LOL. Yeah, who knows, dude? Who know? Um, it could go either way. There's gematria on both sides. So if this team wins, um, it's the gematria said it this way. So if this team wins, the gematria said it that way. So it's all just about like what you take in as far as what the numbers you want to do. So I don't know. We will see, but I'm not gonna flip flop. I've been sticking with it. Um, Tony Tickle says it will be a tie. Ha, that's funny, Tony. And I thought earlier in the season it would be the Rams just because of all the people that they were, um, all the people that were going to the Rams, and then the LA connection. And I didn't make it an official prediction. I don't believe I did. Um, but I retracted it and then went with the Cowboys. And I wish I would have stayed with the Rams because that's kind of what my gut was saying in the beginning of the season. But of course it was. Yeah. When you never made that prediction, so you're like, oh, okay. Don't you think that with 4.5, the zombie masses will bet on the Rams? I have no clue, dude. I have no idea. Um, who knows what Vegas will lay, and then who knows? Vegas could change their mind and make the decision at halftime. I really don't know. Um, Ryan says, "Oh, okay. I figured out how to ban people. Can someone say something really offensive so I can get my first ban?" No, Ryan. I said you can't ban anybody today, especially now that you're out getting drunk and chasing fat girls. Um, Forbidden Info says Rams will win me money. Bobby Gematria, it's pretty naive to think just because Gematria plays a part that means you get everything right. You aren't even the one in control of the game. Critical thinking. Philip Baca is here. What's up, Philip Baca? Um, Man, Ryan really wants to ban somebody. We have no trolls for a while, so nobody for Ryan to ban. I'm sorry, Ryan. If somebody came in here and was running talking shit, you could ban them, but nobody's here talking shit. So, well, anyways, guys, I tried to shut this down like a half hour ago, and I'm still sitting on that same bladder full. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to drop a video tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I'll do something. Maybe I'll do something like that. Something cool. I put the video out right before the live stream, probably about a half hour or hour ago, just talking about the comments that I didn't see that were getting that were hidden and stuff that I just found. So sorry if your comments were missing or whatever. And I did a little rundown of just my channel analytics. You know, kind of let you guys kind of see behind the scenes of what's going on at the channel now that I'm at 5,000 subs, which is just incredible. Bravo to you guys. That's just super awesome. So if you get shot, Pat. What's oh, good shit, Pat. Okay. Kevin got shot, Pat. Good shit, Pat. So stupid. Um, got shot, Pat. That's funny. But yeah, so check out the analytic video if you guys want to see. If you want to see kind of the analytics of my channels, my channel, and the likes and dislikes, and some of the engagement analytics on who's watching my channel and other channels and stuff. So I don't know. I wanted to do that around the new year. So Angel MC 1985 says, "Congrats on the 5K." Thanks. Thanks. Bobby says, "Thank you for the stream." Patty T, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, appreciate you too, Bobby. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll be back on schedule next week. This week was a little funky cold Medina, so um, I'm back at it. We'll be going about 8 o'clock. And I think Bobby said something, but do you guys like this, like the stream, the trailer before the stream? I didn't get a chance to see how that works as far as um what it does, but like if you guys click on the stream after I schedule it, does that play? Is there anything else you'd like me to do with that trailer? It's really for the people who haven't ever seen my stream, and if they check on my channel and they see that, they can kind of get a gist of what's going on in our streams or whatnot. I don't know. I just figured I'd do a wrench. I watch a guy, this weird bald guy who does tips for YouTube people and stuff, and tips for live streams, and he said a trailer's pretty cool because it kind of brings people in that maybe wouldn't have watched if they didn't know or something like that. So I don't know. I just figured I'd put it up there, but I listened to the video and I kind of sound annoying in it. So I don't know. Let me know. I'll keep the chat up. Um, if you have any tips about it or if you have any input. And Ryan says, "Thanks, Pat. I will cherish this wrench. There are so many wrenches, but this one is mine. Without my wrench, I am useless. Without me, my wrench is useless." What's your wrench's name, Ryan? Sheila? But yeah, so Mamba Forever, thanks for hanging out. Uncle Dick in the hizzle. KC Shrensaw, David Hawash, since Goodell has become commissioner every 4 years, a team that never won the Super Bowl, he awards them a Super Bowl. Guess what this year is? Okay. Could be the Bungles. But as far as everybody with all that inside information on why teams have won, that has been wrong too. So if everyone says, "Hey, this is why the Bengals are going to win," and everybody thinks that they got the inside track, that could be wrong. That could still be wrong this year. So who knows with the NFL this year? Who knows, man? And that's why I'm going. I don't have any money on it. I'm not really actually making a prediction. I'm just messing around. So really, yeah, the Bengals probably will win. But I'm saying the Rams by 3 TDs just because I'm that guy. Everybody's walking this way. Everyone's taking the escalator. I'm on the stairs. We're at the airport. Everybody's on the walking sidewalk. I'm speed walking as fast as the people on the walking sidewalk on the carpet. And everyone's like, "Why is that guy walking so fast? Why doesn't he just go on the moving sidewalk?" And I go, "Because I'm Mr. Different. I'm Mr. Different. I'm Mr. Different. Check me out. I'm Mr. Different." No, I don't know. Some people think that I just like to be like, the only reason you like the flat earth is because everyone else thinks the earth is round. Or the only reason you're making videos about the NFL is because everybody likes the NFL. Or it's like, that ain't it. Hey, motherfucker. That ain't it, bitch. Anyways, guys, I love you guys. I'll catch up with you later. I'll see if I can't do a quick video for you guys tomorrow. Maybe just a video of me flexing or something like that. I mean, smash that thumbs up or put a comment in there if you want to see me do the double buy, this one, that one, victory pose. Anyways, okay, guys, I'll catch up with you later. I'll leave the chat open here if you guys want to say your goodbyes to each other and stuff like that. And do all that gay stuff that you guys are into. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Ryan Goff. Anyways, Gaz, Johnny Cash, Johnny G, Dave Hawash, KC, Joel Brooks, Jake the Asshole. Go check out Jake's channel. Give him a sub. Sub it up. Do all your stuff there. Go see David Meaneye. Go sub to his channel. Do all that stuff. You're the tiger. Thanks, Joel. Good to see you guys. Timothy Ryan, just to be contrary. He's saying, Tim's going, you're doing that just to be contrary? No. I don't know. I think the Rams will win. I have no clue, though. So, predictions. Take care, Jake. Take care, Timothy Ryan. We'll see you later. Mamba forever. I'll catch you guys later. And, yeah, love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace.